waiting for a sound, and I heard the sound. So this is Atheist Kangaroo, and I'm in London, and it is getting nighttime here, and we are with Rowan, who is just dropped a major bomb on us, actually, just before we started, which I don't think we're all fully recovered from that. And he is coming from California, we shall say. And we got Nick and Joey, who are the all-knowing atheists, the next generation. They are basically the hope for humanity, and we're hoping that they're breeding as we speak.
Well,
give it time, practice. And they are coming from parts unknown somewhere in the Northwest, we shall say. And with that being said, I will be quiet and let the younger generation speak on my behalf. Go ahead. So yeah, you were just talking about the death threat I got. I mean,
yeah.
Have you guys gotten any yourselves?
No, we have not. But I think once we transition more into Islam, I think we'll see a greater progression of that. But
first of all, I'm loving the wiring setup you guys have. The pink headphones.
Oh yeah, yeah, because it's got a jack in it, so that.
This is like the human centipede. It's some sort of digital, bizarre cyborg.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how afraid should I be of this guy? By the way, I have a picture of him.
I saw the cover of "Do You Want to Build a Snowman" by him. So I'd say you probably shouldn't be too afraid. You never know.
That's a hot track, isn't it? It's moving up the charts. Is there a way for me to attach a photo in this chat?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Well, wait.
I'll
Yeah,
send it to you.
I'm not sure.
I'm gonna send.
There's a way to screen share. You can screen share.
I could. Yeah, but then you'd see all my tabs, all the tabs I have open, which is basically not going to go well for me. Okay, I'm going to send you guys an email because I want to get your opinion on this guy's face. But that's not very helpful for our viewers, is it? But I'm a doofus. I just sent the link to Nick, didn't I? Wow.
Hold on. I did not get it.
Hold on. I gotta find this thing. Speak amongst yourselves while I look for a guy who's trying to kill me.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on.
I want to get your honest opinion about him, like if I should be scared or not.
Yeah, because I saw that little edited photo of him trying to kind of look like an Islamic badass, and I couldn't really tell what he actually looked like.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean that guy in the hood?
Yeah.
Is that him? Is that supposed to be?
I have no idea.
What picture are you guys looking at?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, hold on. Okay, sending it now. Anyway, yeah, that guy got me riled up, and I'm gonna do another video about him. But
Is that him?
Yeah, do you see that?
Yeah, what a joke. Oh, that's hilarious.
He's 21.
Do you know what that says in Arabic?
What?
No, do you know?
Oh, no, I have no idea, but I'm sure it's not going to do something good.
Oh my gosh.
It's not like
this guy is scary looking.
I would just laugh if that guy came up to me.
All right, hold on. I'm going to try to be inclusive to the audience here and screenshot this. Because clearly he's gung-ho. I mean, clearly the guy's way into this.
That's what's scary about it. I mean, he looks like, he's just a kind of a nerdy dork, but he could be, that's the people who could be dangerous.
He's definitely a nerdy dork. We'll just make that clear.
Yes.
But he has this false persona about himself that he's some Islamic warlord, I'm guessing.
Not very good at Photoshop.
Yeah, did you see that? Oh man, you should see some of the other stuff he does. He cannot cut stuff out of a background. Now, can you see that?
Oh, yeah. Everyone can see it, I think.
There he is. That is what I'm up against. Yeah, he can't cut out the finger. So basically, here's the secret. Anybody wants to get into web design, sort of online, digital art, anything like that, you have to learn how to cut something out of a background. Next time you look at my final lineup, that's the skill I'm bringing to the table, and that basically you can do wonders with that ability. It's a pain in the ass. There are many different techniques on how to do it, but it is seriously useful. So
I
yeah,
have a question about that. Do you use the pen tool or do you use the?
no, screw the pen tool. The pen tool is one of the most annoying, obnoxious things ever.
Horrible.
There's actually a way in After Effects that is very good. It's called roto brushing.
Oh
But,
yeah.
yeah, it's just you got to be patient, and a lot of people use the pen. I don't. I'm old school. I use the mouse, and my computer sucks though. Jesus, I need a new one. I need to start begging for Patreon money because this is not. My computer's loud. The fan is constantly loud. It's a Dell, and like I have no microphones. Every video I've made has been talking into my iPhone.
What?
Yeah, this is shit. This is shit quality. And I see guys who have these like professional mics and like spit guards and shit. I'm just like, it's not happening for me. But I need to.
That's what I have.
Yeah, we have the same mic.
Right here.
What?
That's what we're using right now.
Dude, that's like some Larry King style. That's like
Yeah.
David. Wow.
That's just for voiceovers.
Yeah.
Look at you. So what's on the horizon for the all-knowing ones? What do you guys? What's next up on the block? Like, what are you doing next?
Well,
Not exactly sure. I think experimenting
I think
is what we've
we
been
want to
doing
we want to find out exactly a consistent path to keep our channel on. Style of videos, content-wise. We're just kind of putting things out there, seeing how we like it. A lot of our newer videos are more edit-based, factual, and I kind of like that a little more than just talking into the camera for 2 minutes on a topic, scripted, because I'm horrible reading scripts. And so, I don't know. I like what we're doing now. I don't know if you guys have seen the Who is Richard Dawkins, What is Scientology type videos, but I like those. I like doing those more than the other ones, so I think I'm going to progress into that. I don't know what Nick is doing.
Like, even when he does it, I still have everything. I edit most of the videos, especially like the Who is Sam Harris.
Yeah.
He did some of the Who is Scientology videos, but I'm really fine with basically anything because I can do either both, like the old style videos or the new style videos.
I haven't seen the Sam Harrison and Richard Dawkins. What are those about?
Well, they're just a quick. I'm doing all the Horsemen. I just want to do quick kind of biographical videos. They're like 3 minutes long. That it's just a quick timeline of their life, and then what they do for atheism, and then just a clip of a beatdown they've had.
That's awesome. Yeah, and that's all it takes actually. It's the spreading of knowledge. So like, if one person has never heard of these guys, and then they're like, oh, there's a guy named Sam Harris, I should look him up, and then like 10 weeks later, they've seen every YouTube video, and they're like a completely changed person. So that's a smart move. I like it.
Yeah.
That's the way it was for me when I first saw Sam Harris. I like couldn't stop watching his videos. I would just watch him like all the time.
Yeah, I had a chip on my shoulder with Sam. He was not the first guy I found online, and I told this to him when I met him. I told it to his face. I was like, I didn't think an American could hang with Dawkins and Hitchens. I was like, okay, wait a minute, because I think it was Dawkins first, and I was digging what he was saying, and then I found Hitchens, and I was just like, oh my God, this guy is like, it's way cooler than Dawkins. Like this guy is
really cool.
And, Dawkins is like a conservative British professor, and Hitchens is not a conservative British professor. He's like, this guy's traveling around the world and just flamethrowing everybody. And then I was like, wait, there's another guy that's like, but he's American. He looks like Ben Stiller. I was like, no. I was like, no. And he talks, kind of like, a neuroscientist would talk, in a very calm demeanor. But then, obviously, Sam has impressed me nonstop and ever since. But
do you have any criticisms at all of Sam Harris? I'm curious.
Yeah. I mean, oh God, can I? Some of his free will stuff is a bit out there. I mean, I think I have differences, but the scale of the differences is not so large. I mean, like his advocacy of mind-altering drugs. Like, I'm not a big fan of drug use. And I know I recognize that I'm saying that as somebody who hasn't used drugs. So maybe I'm completely wrong, but I'm not sure if the benefits of that outweigh the risks and the health sort of detrimental things of like fucking with your brain. But so I'm not into that, and I personally I'm not going to be spending 3 months in a cave in silence, but that's not a disagreement. It's just a different guy. And then his gun stuff. I actually don't know his stance on guns from a philosophical standpoint. Like,
yeah, I haven't heard it either.
But he owns guns. I mean, but he also has constant and real death threats from thousands of people. So
very true.
It's one thing to be sitting back as an armchair quarterback and being like, no guns. That's the end of the story. But when you're in the real situation. But can I tell you one of the stupidest fucking comments I ever got? And I just got it. Some guy just sent it to me. He goes, "Atheism is unstoppable. You almost seemed like a bright person until the end when you tried to shit on America and my evil guns." He's like, "I expected nothing less from an Aussie. Your country is so paranoid about guns that they ban most video games with them. The rest of us will laugh when an abo stabs you and rapes your girlfriend or vice versa." So on many levels, this is bizarre. This guy thinks I'm Australian. Like imagine that. Not a single word I say has even a tinge of an Australian accent. I don't know what you guys think I sound like, but I sound exactly like a guy from LA. But unbelievable. And then he's like, an abo is gonna stab and rape me, and I can do nothing. And he's gonna laugh at that. And then, or vice versa. What does that mean? So like, he's gonna also laugh when I stab and rape an Aboriginal? Like, what the? I don't know. That is in my Hall of Fame for sure.
We've gotten a few weird ones too. Not that extreme.
Okay, let me ask you guys. Okay, you get all this subscribers, right? I help you out. That was awesome. I love doing it. But it's not always a good thing.
Yes. Okay. But what I will say is we got some criticism in the beginning, not too major, but we noticed that to combat that, we'd have to comment ourselves, to get them to either back off or whatever. But we've noticed what's great is having all these subscribers. They do it for us sometimes. Like they will push them out, and I think yours do the same thing I've seen. So that's nice. But yeah, we get some wackos that know what they're talking about.
That is refreshing when you're reading a comment where you're getting ripped or you're getting strawmanned, and you're just like, oh god, I got to reply to this guy now. And then you read down, and one of your own people have already sort of, responded, and yeah, that's beautiful. But I would warn you guys, do not take people on the internet too seriously.
No. Oh god, no.
They're strangers.
Do not let these people affect you. Like, do not. Look, I mean, you have to take it all with a grain of salt, basically. So there are some absolute losers out there. I mean, Jesus Christ. It doesn't matter if they're right about atheism. Trust me. That's not like some filter that they're going to be cool people or smart and have their shit together. That's like they answered the easiest question in the universe, and that's it. So don't get discouraged. But the one thing I like about you guys is you're in the honeymoon phase of your atheism channel. That's the phase where you talk about atheism. Right. Because every other atheism channel has veered radically away from atheism.
Oh, I've noticed that as well.
It's because you run out of... I mean, we've beaten on all of these topics so many times. We've presented all the arguments. But I recognize that you guys probably haven't gone through that circuit. But the idea of me doing a video on Pascal's wager, like, I might kill myself before I do that. It's like, So if there were other topics that you would venture into, what do you think those might be?
Political issues, I guess. Yeah. Civil rights. I mean, that's pretty much covered. A lot of people have put their content out. But...
You want to refuse gay rights? I agree. Good call.
How about transhumanism, right? You guys...
I mean, basically the same types of things that most atheist YouTubers go into. I guess it becomes more of a political aspect, especially how you rip on the Young Turks nonstop. What they say. More or less... No, less of the... ignorance of religion itself, but what it does and what it's, how it's affected people, not just arguments to defeat it. And it's because anyone can put 50 videos out, and if you watch all of them, there's no way you're going to be religious anymore.
Will you be doing a series on sex robots?
I was thinking about it, but Nick shot it down pretty quick. So
do it.
Yeah. Oh
You
man.
can do it.
Yeah, it's strange. I mean, I guess you got to just explore whatever you're passionate about
Mhm.
and do whatever. Are you gonna fall into the pitfall of feminism and addressing that?
I
Mm.
I was really thinking about it, making a video. I still haven't decided, especially because I'm not completely 100% knowledgeable on
Mhm.
the subject. So
Right.
I definitely have to educate myself more.
When has that
But
ever stopped somebody on the internet?
Oh.
yeah. um, so I think so. Are you gonna? I know you've commented a little bit on it, but are you gonna go more actively?
No, no. Feminism for me is a sideshow. It's a freak show.
Yeah, it
But
really is.
there are some parallels, and I enjoy it. I'm hearing an echo. You guys
No,
all have
sounds fine. Sounds fine.
headphones? Okay. Um, it just doesn't interest me. I don't want to get into that battle. I mean, let other people handle it. It's funny as hell, though.
It is. Yeah.
Because the larger theme is that we're against stupidity. Atheism, it just happens to be taking on the Mount Everest of stupidity.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
But that doesn't mean there's other peaks. It's like Sam Harris's the moral landscape. It's the stupid landscape. Okay, there's a lot of peaks and valleys, and I don't know.
So I saw the thing on the Drunken Peasants about you, and what they said was just absolutely ridiculous. What did you think when you saw that?
Um, I thought, what are the guys in the clan gonna think now because my secret identity is outed? Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm gonna be making videos. I've done some audio, but I'm in London now, hanging out with my family, and I don't want to waste time with this fat fuck right now.
Yeah.
When I get back to Germany, I'll get into my German mode and I'll go ballistic on all these people. The Creationist Cat, the Drunken Peasants, Jacqueline Glenn,
Yeah.
yeah, all these dorks and progressive idiots and fanboys. They're all trying to dogpile, and they're all puffed up because they got this army, this silent mob behind them,
Yeah.
and they will all be destroyed and in good time. And I'm on the right side of the argument. That's why I'm so calm. Like
Yeah.
I have about 10 videos in mind to do. I'm just trying to decide how I should break it down. Should
Mhm.
I do like a 5-minute one here? Should I do a half hour there? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. And
No,
also, I profoundly don't care what they say because I know
right.
they're wrong, and I'm not worried about it. So it's just like whatever. In fact, I will have you know, drum roll please. Last night I hung out with a black man in in London.
Wow.
Yeah, one of my subscribers. We went out and had some pints out here, and good time. It was very interesting talking to a guy face to face. He ended up robbing me at the end of the night, so technically he is a criminal. But I'm not going to let that affect my vision of black people in general.
They
No, he didn't. He's a nice guy, really sweet guy.
they invited you on, didn't they? Didn't they say
Yeah,
you wanted to?
yeah, right. So some jagovs get on in front of their minions of 90,000, dick strokers, and they slander you in every way possible, insult you, disrespect you, slur you, label you a racist for no reason, in the most pathetic way possible, and then go on Twitter and do the same, insult, attack, in very public manner, all baseless, all unbelievably, like, demented that they would even do this. And then they invite me to walk into that pit, that fucking nest of delusion and fucking teenage, I could not think of something I just fucked that sentence. But there's no way I would be doing that. That's never going to happen. He also challenged to fight me, that fat fuck. So that I would actually entertain. I would fly across the world, and so long as he's willing to put up money, and I want there to be a purse. I want to win money for this. We can donate some to charity, some I will take from him, and I will fight him. I will fight that man.
It's a good solution, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what I think you guys should do though is do some like man on the street stuff. Like if
Yeah, I've actually thought
I
about
want
that
to
before.
do that, but the problem is we live in a suburban area, and it'd be tough. I think it'd be kind of not so ideal situation. But what?
what's not ideal about
Well,
suburbia?
a lot of people, one, aren't very open to that, and we know the people generally, or would come into contact with them, and
So wait, you're not next to like a mid-sized city or any?
well, I live by Seattle, and I actually go to school in Seattle, but
Attention, all jihadists.
there's
Seattle.
all Catholic schools in Seattle, and then narrow it down from there.
Oh man.
Yeah, we're gonna move into that definitely, and we wanna actually have conversations with religious people and maybe a hangout or something, just to see. I don't really want to move into the debates on Google Hangout or anything. I just think that'd get repetitive and not very interesting.
Oh man, it's terrible. But I was hoping you guys were going to be from Aberdeen, like Kurt Cobain. Have you guys ever been there?
I've never been there, but
No reason to go.
Not a reason in the world to go.
Not a tourist attraction there to be seen.
Nope, not at all.
This is where Kurt Cobain blew his head off. Yeah, I was living in Tacoma for about 3 months last summer, and that place was a trip. That was
you like it there?
We had a really nice apartment, and we were just watching the World Cup and taking trips into Seattle, watching the Mariners and stuff. So it was fun as hell. Space Needle, all that. And Bill Gates has got some kick-ass building right next to the Space Needle. Have you guys seen that thing?
Yeah, Gates, Melinda Gates Foundation or whatever.
Yeah, the guy's like basically saving humanity, like just for fun. That guy's pretty awesome. No, but I was thinking like, just to show the stark difference between where you guys are at philosophically and just in terms of your ability to reason and the average 16, 14-year-old. That's humor. That writes itself.
Problem is, a lot of, especially people our age who are religious, wouldn't want to do that. They wouldn't want to put themselves in that spot.
Don't even forget the religious people. Just get the random irreligious people, just the people who are just clueless and being kids, and just ask them general questions. That to me would be totally fun to watch.
It's kind of funny though. I've noticed that, especially kids my age, which I'm a sophomore, I'm gonna be a junior. The religion aspect of their lives is basically non-existent. I don't know. I've never been to the South, really, but from what I've discovered is that they take religion really seriously. Religion doesn't dominate aspects of kids my age's life at all, by any means. And a lot of them, I mean, Seattle itself is 10% atheist, and I think it's 33% agnostic. 33% unaffiliated, 10% atheist.
It might have even been more than that.
And most of that is just the younger generation. And so there's not a lot of hardcore religious people.
There's more atheists than agnostics.
Man.
I don't remember where was it. I think it was Pew Research Center.
Okay.
On the Seattle.
Every time I hear the word agnostic, it's a trigger for me at this point. I feel myself getting irritable. Agnostic. Defend yourself, agnostics. I want to live debate, just a self-proclaimed agnostic.
You are an agnostic. You're an agnostic atheist.
Of course, I'm an air breather too, but I don't want calling myself that.
Well, it's an important distinction because a lot of people insist that they're Gnostics. They insist that they know. So it shows a difference.
What they do is they insist they're agnostic, but they leave out the part that they're atheist because they don't want to be associated with that, or they
like Neil deGrasse Tyson.
They don't want to give the impression that they know that there's no God.
Oh God, Neil deGrasse Tyson has so many followers and just guys that worship him because he's like this mustached teddy bear, and the guy is totally wrong about his stance and his self-labeling. And people are like, let the man, just leave Britney alone. Leave Neil alone. It's like, oh, you pussies. The guy is wrong.
But he's not like an atheist activist, so he's got to appeal to everybody, I think.
Yeah, of course. Now,
he doesn't feel that way.
Neil's a great guy. He's a talented guy. He's a smart guy. He does amazing work for what he does, science educating and speaking and telling stories. And I'm sure I would love to, explore homosexuality with him, etc., etc. I mean, he's a great guy, okay? But he's fucking wrong about agnosticism.
No,
and not just him. That's like cutting off the head of the snake, because public people who should know better, who proclaim to be agnostic, like Cenk Uygur, these are the people that need to be slapped. But I would also, I'll take some low-level peon. You guys find me an agnostic in Seattle, and I will live debate him. I mean, let's we need to shame these people out of existence.
Yeah.
I don't think I know an agnostic who leans toward Christianity or toward a religion.
I think it's
always
honestly
agnostic leaning toward
I think
atheism.
the only reason that people claim to be agnostic is
Right.
to avoid the backlash of coming out as an atheist.
Exactly, they're pussies.
Well, yeah, they're pussies, but I mean,
That's the translation. They're avoiding confrontation, and there's a political reason for it. But it's not working on me. I see through it. Like, it's shameful that they think they can do that. And they're not
yeah,
answering the
both
question.
sides, yeah.
It's a non-answer.
Mhm.
It's like, what are you male or female? I'm a human.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Yeah.
Pull down your pants right now.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Hold on. Let me just. If you just joined the Hangout, I did not tell a 14 and a 16-year-old to pull down their pants. That was in reference to something else. I'm probably going to get a strike for this now.
I guess I think the agnostics, the people who claim they're agnostics, and they don't put an atheist or a theist in front of the word agnostic, right? They just claim I'm agnostic. They're basically not willing to admit what they believe. That's what's the problem, right?
Well, yeah. No, I think again, it's just this. Being an atheist is so looked down upon, especially in specific areas, and being the term agnostic appeals to both sides. But like Devin said, you're basically proclaiming yourself as a pussy because you don't want to take the backlash from what you already know.
But it also doesn't hold up. I mean, it's like they're trying to get out of the conversation.
Yeah.
They're trying to be like, oh, it's 50-50, nobody can know anything.
Right,
I'm not going to tell you which way I'm leaning. I'm not going to tell you, like, it's 99.9% that there's no God. But because I'm holding open the possibility, then call me an agnostic and let's just leave it. Let's just not talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
This is, you guys are too young for this, but one time I went on Match.com, right? I was trying to acquire some of the attention of some females, and didn't work out that well. But they ask you what religion you are, and I remember, like, should I filter for atheists? Because that's a terrible thing to do, by the way, because nobody's putting atheist on Match.com. But what they do put, and this is another bullshit thing, is spiritual but not religious.
Oh yeah.
Which is like, that's the transitional term, which also means next to nothing. And it's also just saying, look, I'm not a religious freak, but I also don't want to talk about this. So anyway, I ended up trying to date Christians, and I had ulterior motives. I wasn't looking for a wife necessarily at the time. Although David Silverman is married to a hardcore Jew, so he seems to.
He is?
Oh, really?
Yeah. He met his wife doing a debate about religion, and she was Jewish as you can get. David Silverman, he once said a joke where he was like, my parents were going to call me Jew, but they thought it didn't sound Jewish enough, so they called me David Silverman instead. Any Jews up in Washington, or is that a unicorn?
I don't know
It's a
any.
rarity, it really is. I have a Jew at my school, though.
Whoa.
My Catholic school.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he shifty?
He's not like a practicing Jew, but like people rip on him for that. It's so
really?
weird. Yeah.
It's like acceptable to tease him.
Yeah, it's weird. He's a nice kid. I love him, but I mean, it's weird. Like the religious culture of Catholicism is so weird. It's so exclusive too. Even at a young age.
The Catholics and the Jews, do they get along? I guess they don't. Huh?
Not particularly, I don't think.
Does anybody get along with the Jews? The Kurds.
That's a good question.
Yeah. Well, the Palestinians and them, they're always buddy.
They're close, at least.
Yeah, right. Aside from a love of hummus, I think they're pretty much at odds with each other. Man, I get so much backlash from my supportive Jews in Israel.
I know. I saw a comment the other day, and it was like, "Oh, he sounds smart until you realize how far his head is up Israel's ass." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like,
yeah,
it's so ridiculous.
It's so crazy. I don't know if you guys are going to go down that avenue and do videos on it, but it is a ongoing thing, and you will live your entire life, and there will still be shit going on in Israel. Nothing's ever changing. So get used to it. Get used to reports coming out of that region. Nightmare. Have I missed anything, guys? Because I have not been watching the news. What's been going on?
Nothing really.
Yeah, really, nothing has happened.
No killings. No.
I don't think
Not
so.
really.
It's been pretty quiet.
Does Caitlyn Jenner still have a dick?
I don't think yet. I think it's coming in.
Really?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. I want to hear your stance on that. Bruce Jenner becomes a woman. All-knowing atheist. Go. React.
Okay. Initially, I thought it was definitely a publicity stunt because the Kardashians are kind of falling off the wagon. I actually watched an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians on this, and the family was talking about how he had been pissed off all the time for the past, 40 years. And I was like, okay, I don't know how that really correlates. And that he was saying that the mom, Chris, was like, every time I would ask you what's wrong, you would say, you wouldn't understand. I don't know. I can't decide if he's just doing it for money, because obviously he's made a shit ton of money off it, or he really wants to be a woman. But the fact is, he was an Olympic athlete. You don't just do that just because. That's not something that's like, well, I could do it, or I could just stay home today. I don't know.
Yeah, I think these people have enough money, and this guy's been dealing with this for a long time, and this is not the kind of thing that is going to make your life easier. He actually has a lot of problems because he got into this car accident, and I think he was negligible, and somebody died. It was on the Pacific Coast Highway, which is the beach road out in Los Angeles. And
when did this happen?
A few months back, maybe a year ago.
Really?
Yeah. So do you guys hear a sound?
A little bumping, I guess. Not much.
Yeah. So. Can you imagine that? You're transitioning sex, you're coming out in front of the entire world, and you have a homicide, manslaughter case hanging over your head.
I mean, tough. Not ideal.
Yeah, and to do this all at 65 or whatever that's pretty intense.
Yeah, definitely.
It does weird me out. I will tell you that much. It's not. I'm not exactly going to be putting up posters of Caitlyn Jenner on my wall anytime soon, but maybe a screensaver here and there. So, okay, so you guys come up with the topic. Rowan, you had some questions. Hit me. Fire them out.
All right. Okay, so in transhumanism, there's this idea that in the future, we're going to be able to augment our bodies with different abilities. We can do all kinds of things. Once we extend our lives, after that, we can do anything we want. We have freedom to do what we want with our bodies technologically and give ourselves superpowers. Basically, like the X-Men. Imagine the X-Men in real life. If you could have a superpower, this is to all you guys, or what kind of thing would you want to change about yourself to give yourself extra powers if you could in the future? I think I might have already asked this one to you guys, right?
Trying to think.
I feel like you may have, or something similar. Devin, do you have an answer?
Yeah, I mean, superpower, geez. I mean, I would say that just basically a RAM upgrade. I just need better memory. I need better processor.
Oh, that is such a good one. That is so...
I mean, I'm dumb. I can't... I've been living in Germany and Argentina and shit. I have not learned a lick of their languages. And my brain isn't so adverse to it. It just shuts down. It's all just white noise. It's just Nazi noise. And that would be nice. But, my brain cells are dying, whereas you guys are all young and sort of, absorbing knowledge at an exponential rate, and I am forgetting knowledge at that same exact rate. So it's a bit sad.
And then there's the not needing to sleep. That's actually could come in the future. And all you guys wanted that because you guys commented in the comments, and you said you wanted to not be able to sleep too.
That would be fantastic.
I think
I'm in favor of the 2-hour piss. So maybe at the beginning of every week, you take a 2-hour piss, and then you're good to go for the week.
Not have to go to the bathroom at all.
Oh, that'd be
or not even have to eat.
Yeah, here's what we need: some sort of recycling plant where we reuse urine somehow. And it I don't know, lubricates our joints or something. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do with it, but we got to work on that.
Here's another topic let's discuss. Let's discuss, like, okay, so children are being brainwashed by their parents to be indoctrinated into religion. And we can't really stop religion. We're not going to win as long as child indoctrination is still legal.
Mm-hmm.
So let's discuss what's the practical way, how are we actually going to make child indoctrination illegal so we can end the cycle of indoctrination. Where do we start? What do we do?
I don't think you can. I fail to see a realistic possibility where we could outlaw child indoctrination. Although I'm in favor of getting rid of it, I really don't see a way how you could just get your parents. Yeah, maybe on paper they don't sign them up as a Catholic, but you know what they're going to be saying to their kids at home. You know, telling them to pray at night. You know.
Yeah. The bottom line is there are stupid people on this planet, and these stupid people are going to have sex, and it's going to be disgusting, and they're going to poop out kids, and they're going to pass their stupidity directly onto their kids. And the government and you and I, we're not. It's not our job. We can't stop them from doing this. This is what primates have been doing, for millions of years. So all we can do is try to discourage the stupidity, and basically, the internet is our way to bypass the parental indoctrination. So, I don't know. You guys have got to have pissed people off in your family, right? Like, you must have grandparents who are.
We're cousins, so does anyone? I mean, my parents and my brother are atheists, so I mean they're like whatever. I don't know if any grandparents.
I don't think any extended family know.
They would be pissed off if they knew.
So, for example, I just heard an interview with Sam Harris and this girl who used to be a member of the Westboro Baptist Church. Like, she's part of that family, part of that cult, and she got out of it. She realized she was wrong, and now she's out. But the only way she did that was by having a conversation, I think primarily with some Jewish guy, but it was an online conversation, and the guy presented an argument to her that basically started a series of dominoes to fall, and now she's radically different. Like, she's estranged from her family, and if we didn't have the internet, then people would be living in compounds, taking on multiple wives and just doing all sorts of sadistic shit, and we couldn't get through to them. So that was hopeless, and now we do have hope.
Right. I think the most important thing, and me and Nick stressed this in a few early videos, is implementing the seed of doubt. Because you're not going to get anywhere until you get that in there. Once they start questioning themselves, they will see how wrong they really are. And
so you guys are trying to spread your seed?
Of course.
Typical young man. Okay, so yeah, that's smart. I mean, you guys have to nip it in the bud right here. Like, the young people, don't let them turn into like Eric Hovind. Like, stop them. Stop them.
But I think we really will. I really don't think you're going to see a religious majority when my generation has reached a elder age. I mean,
yeah, I think it would be.
Don't see. I think the fundamentalism.
I mean, it's already starting to go down now.
The fundamentalism and just straight up belief is generally like 45 and up, really.
Yeah. And you know what else I love? I think the rise of Islam, and ever since 9/11.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, take it away.
Well, I mean, people are starting to understand how dangerous religion is and how stupid it is. I mean, Bill O'Reilly in an interview with Sam Harris was like, anyone who believes you kill yourself and you get 72 virgins is crazy, and Sam Harris was like, it's no crazier than believing a cracker literally turns into the body of Christ. It's logically the same, and people are seeing that, but they're hating like Islam, especially
for the wrong reasons.
They're hating it for the wrong reasons. My generation understands it, but the later generations are kind of just at war with it just because of the nationalism and whatnot. But it's really educating the youth on the problems with religion and the illogicalities of it.
Yeah, and the fact that it's like an inbred cousin of the monotheism of Judaism. Like, it's the same religion, it's the same God.
It's just the same God,
It's the retarded, incestuous stepbrother of Christianity, and now we get to hold it up and be like, oh, wait a minute, how is this any different? And it's beautiful because it's challenging us, and this is what started Dawkins and Hitchens. All of those guys basically got triggered when they heard George Bush say, God is on our side, not the jihadis. And that was just like, okay, this is fucking ridiculous. We have to address this now. So I love it. I love the general knowledge of Islam is skyrocketed. I mean, imagine the Google searches for the term Muslim or Islam or Muhammad. You know, that is provided that the people in the Muslim world could stop fapping to all the porn, which is Pakistan is the leading nation in porn streams.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Imagine that. Imagine all the
backwards. Yeah.
All the porn addicts of America, all 4 of us included, right? We don't put a dent. We don't come close to Pakistan. That's amazing. And imagine those poor North Koreans. They have no idea what porn is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I watched a documentary about that. They absolutely, their government censors the entire internet and everything. It's horrible.
Okay, let me ask a question to the young ones.
Yeah.
Being raised in the age of the internet, like when I was a kid, if you could take your dad's Playboy and like get a few minutes with it, that was like a sexual revolution for one. It was amazing, and you might catch some TNA. Being raised in the internet, is your childhood over at the age of like 5? Like
yeah, it really is. Like you become so censored, not censored.
Yeah.
Shown to
exposed, right?
To everything. You can literally find anything you want.
So your parents could not stop this from happening. Like
there's no way they could. There's no way in reality that they could censor it. There's just no way. And especially Nick has a younger sister, and she is more socially adept at her age than I was, and I'm 16, and so I was still in the age of the internet as well, and it's even grown even more so, intertwined with the younger generations. It's crazy.
So like you guys would all get together and like be like, hey, let's go look at dead people, or like here's some crazy violent shit, or here's some sex shit, or like what would you do?
Literally.
Like, what are your Google searches?
Well, generally, now it's generally just things on atheism, but before it was the most random thing. You have a thought that pops into your head, even just something that's horrible, you look it up, you know.
Right.
There's no censor of information.
There's no more secrets. There's no more secrets.
But the problem, I think, is...
Isn't that a line from X-Files?
I don't know. I think people are...
You guys are too young for X-Files. Holy shit, I didn't realize
that. I've seen a few X-Files.
Okay.
But people are thinking that what's on the internet, not so much in my generation anymore, but when we were younger, every argument on the internet is infallible, you know, and I think that's a problem, but that's basically it. And once you actually
that's sort of
get a little reasoning, you understand that it's obviously not.
So do you guys ever go to Live League?
Every once in a while.
Have you guys ever been to Bare Naked Islam?
No.
Oh man. Oh god. Don't. Preserve your innocence. Like seriously, your childhood would be dead in the water if you go there. It's just terrible. It's all real, but I mean seriously, don't do it.
Have you guys ever been to 4chan?
Yeah, I have.
Couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is 4chan all about, guys? Somebody explain that to me.
They're like the black hat hackers. They're just like, I don't know. It's kind of like Reddit, but just very sinister.
So Reddit is probably the most insufferable community of assholes.
Oh
in
yeah.
the history of time. It is almost comical. You could put just kittens, you know, just kittens. Just throw up a kitten video, and some guy will be like, "This is fucking lame. You're just trying to get upvotes." You know, it's like, oh, for fuck's sake. By the way, that's how I found you guys.
Reddit?
Really?
I found you guys on the subreddit of atheist videos.
Yeah.
Atheist
okay.
Yeah, you guys posted that Muhammad thing. I go there every once in a while, and I used to post my videos on there before. I was just like, why? I fucking hate these people.
Yeah,
I seriously hate them.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost comical.
It's fun. At first, I was kind of like, wow, really? Like, why do you think that? And then now I'm just like, well, whatever. I don't care.
But you know why? Because life is cruel, and people are living failed, miserable lives of quiet anguish, and they need to lash out in any way possible. Trust me.
Yeah.
They thought, here's what it was. When they were your age, the future looked bright. They thought they were going to be somebody and do something. Turned out, they amounted out to be jack squat. Nothing happened. Their dreams fizzled and died, and they are accepting that. Well, they can accept it. They have no sexual gratification, and they go to Reddit. That is an accurate statement.
That is very
I am.
accurate,
I am not. There's no agnosticism on that. I know that with 1,000% certainty. But anyway, yeah. So, but you guys still post on there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a big thing. We just try to get our view count up because it's weird. I think our most viewed video is the God's Not Dead trailer, which has like
4,000 views.
But other than that, at one point we had more subscribers than the amount of views on our most popular video.
You know what? You know what we got to do with you guys? We need to have like a breakout video.
Exactly.
That's why my whole prognosis was that we get like 100 videos done this summer, and one is bound to blow up.
Like,
you know?
I was mentioning to you guys an email talking about the Richard Dawkins Foundation.
Yeah.
But an organization like that would seriously be willing, I think, to get behind a couple of young guys like you who have some reasoned, like thought out, like on point arguments.
Yeah.
Like they would look at that and be like, "This is awesome," because most of the atheists and the YouTube channels, they're not exactly the most stand-up guys, and myself included. I mean, I'm not running for office here. You know, I realize that, but I'm not trying to be Joe Atheist, you know. But a lot of them are like sort of neckbeard, sort of monstrous, like nerds or dorks, or just complete guys that you're not going to put in front of a microphone, or you're not going to take them home to your parents. These guys are losers. I mean, the Amazing Atheist.
Yeah, TJ is a fucking douche.
Wow. I mean, it does not get more reprehensible than this. But you guys, you know, you have not. Life has not battered you down yet. You know, you still have hope. So I think let's do it. Let's brainstorm on what kind of video we could do. Like,
yeah, because I wanna see a lot of videos that we have now are either entirely argumentative or entirely factual. Like something like what is Scientology? Like that is literally just textbook information relayed. I want to make a video that incorporates facts to back my arguments up, because a lot of our earlier videos were literally just opinionated, but that organizationally has arguments and facts, but it is opinionated, so people understand that we have our own voice and we're not just reading from a textbook. And I feel like if we can get a video like that with content that's you know, desirable, then a breakout video would be impossible.
Well, here's what I think. The reason I mentioned Man on the Street is I think people like the live nature of something. They like confrontation. So like nobody likes a circle jerk, like the kind we're involved in right now, because there's no conflict. Like any good movie, you need a conflict. So if the two of you guys like put on matching suits and just took microphones, went into the street and said, "We're the all-knowing atheists. We're about to engage with some Christians or whatever," and just confronted them in the middle of the street at the age of like 5 or however old you guys are, you know, and just destroy them. That would be wildly entertaining and joyous to watch. I mean, because you guys have basically, as far as I can tell, have accumulated the entirety of every argument atheists have put forward. But you have soaked it all up, and you are on the bleeding edge of this entire debate, and you're not 17. You know, this is absurd. So you have to harness that, and you've got to not stop. You can't be satisfied with that. You've got to like confront and bash. And look what I'm doing. I'm going out, and I'm not saying you should follow what I'm doing, but I am confronting people. I'm mixing shit up. I'm not being boring and doing the same stuff. So, you know, I'm going after different people on different topics, and people that are quote unquote supposed to be on my side, atheists. It's not good enough. I'm sorry. You know, this is terrible. There's a lot of criticism to be leveled onto people. So I don't know. You should think about this though.
If you ever have, obviously you're gonna want ideas for your own videos, but if you ever have like an idea that doesn't really correlate with the way you have a style of video, you let us know and we'll get on that.
You should go to Tacoma, man, because there's a church every block in Tacoma.
I noticed that.
It is unreal. You should have the what's it called? Not the TV tower. I'm thinking of Berlin. The Seattle Space Needle.
Yeah.
Have that in the background and interview people on the street.
Yeah.
And just hours of footage, and then find whatever one interaction or two, or edit it down. Figure out
Right.
if you could create some magic there, some
Right.
I don't know, and use confrontation, use humor, use your arguments, however you want to play it.
Yeah.
We had an idea to do something with Scientology, because there's a Church of Scientology like 4 blocks away from the Space Needle.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. But one thing that we've talked about is we haven't really decided whether we want to wait to get bigger for that, or I mean, what do you think? Do you think it's fine just at this size?
It's the chicken or the egg. I mean, you have to. There's no one way to do it, but if you can get something that you're proud of and you put a lot of effort in, and then all it takes is one spark. That's the thing.
Right.
And you have me as a little boost as a starting point. And there's some people that follow me, but I mean, obviously I'm a pariah now in the atheist community, so, I mean, because I said black people should stop committing crimes. So apparently they should please, black people, please continue with your criminal behavior. Nobody cares. So, but still, there are people you can get to, and with Twitter, you can actually just bombard people. Like for instance, if I told the Flying Monkeys to send a video clip of yours to whoever, Dawkins, Sam Harris, they would receive hundreds of links to the same video.
Yeah.
And that's the only way to get through to these guys, because these guys are not just spending all day online going through
browsing through responses and whatnot.
I've got 2 responses from Dawkins before.
But not on our videos.
Yeah, not on our videos before.
What was it? Leave me alone and you're blocked? Yeah, Dawkins is cool. I mean, is he active online? I get the feeling like other people are tweeting stuff. I don't think it's him.
Yeah, I don't know if it's him. Sometimes he kind of makes himself out to look like an idiot when he responds to trolls. I don't know.
I loved his hate mail thing.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Oh my god.
I have one video I posted where it's just isolated of him saying, "Because you're gay."
Yes, I did see that video. I did see that.
I want that to be my most successful video of all time. It's so good. He's sitting in front of a fish tank.
Love letters to Richard.
I love hearing those people swear. Sam Harris will drop F-bombs on the Joe Rogan podcast. And it's just marvelous, because these people, they're so proper and they're so like adult when they're doing their debates and stuff.
Yeah.
But when they sort of like loosen up a little bit and start saying how they really feel, that's my favorite.
I saw a video of yours, on the Joe Rogan podcast. It was some like 20-year-old, and you made probably the best point, is that progressives are really just apologizing for Islam. They're like, oh, it's 700 years younger than Christianity. Obviously, they're going to be doing this, and people are agreeing with that. They're like, yeah, we should just let them do it. What do you think? How would you get through to somebody who is using that logic?
It's such low expectations. First of all, you have to be more greedy. You're going to be dead, so we're concerned. Every time we're talking about, can we improve life on the planet while we are here? Like, is that not assumed? Do we have to actually explain that to people? Like, I mean, man. Oh no, Rowan's probably going to chime in.
I have a point to make about that. I think a problem here is that people have such a short life that they don't have a vested interest in solving these problems. Like, a lot of the atheists, I think they're apathetic because they're like, well, I'm just going to die when I'm 80, so it doesn't matter if Islam takes over the world. I'm not going to be here. So I think a big problem is death. If we could just solve the death problem, people would be like, oh, I have to make this world a heaven on earth because I'm going to be here for a long time.
Same thing with like climate change. I saw an article that said ExxonMobil knew about the effects of climate change like back in like the 80s, and they spent like $30 million on think tanks that oppose climate change just because they want to make some money, So it's the same type of ordeal.
There was a Reddit shower post where if people can only live up to 100, so no one cares about climate change, but if we lived up to 1,000, a lot more people would care.
That's the idea. It's so true, I think.
Here's the difference. Here's the analogy. It's like getting in an elevator and somebody farts. You're going to be only concerned about that to a certain degree, versus your wife is like a heavy snorer, and you're like, oh shit, I'm going to sleep every night with this woman, so maybe I should address the snoring problem. Meanwhile, the fart in the elevator, you're willing to sort of ride that out, unless the elevator breaks down, which is a different scenario. Yeah, I mean, good God. It is, though. It is their retarded stance on death is what informs how they live their life. And this is the problem. These people cannot accept death. So we get to coexist with those people. So lucky us, right?
Yeah.
God. Catholic. So Joey, did you tiptoe through any molestation, or what happened with that?
No, few confrontations, but no. The
Are you bitter about that, or offended, like you missed out?
about oh yeah, a little bit, a little insulting to my attractiveness, but what are you gonna do?
Did you come across priests that you looked at and were like, I wonder,
Yeah,
this guy seems shady?
definitely.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah, the priest at the cathedral across the street where we go for like mass.
Mhm.
Oh, he's touched a few little boy dicks in his life, I think.
Dude, I'll tell you guys a story. I was a Boy Scout, and our first Scoutmaster, when I was like real young, like Cub Scout style,
Yeah.
he eventually got busted for child molestation. Not kidding. And then I remember back, and he totally like was way too touchy with us. Thinking back, like we were having a conversation. We're like, yeah, he really did kind of like pat us on the butt a lot. Well, that was kind of weird. So yeah, Boy Scouts of America, thanks. Thanks for popping my cherry with that one. You guys, the Boy Scouts is a no-go for you? Just a total.
No.
Yeah,
Do
no.
they even let atheists in? I think I heard somewhere.
Yeah, you just lie, you fudge it.
Oh, of course.
I mean, basically, being an American citizen, you're supposed to be a Christian.
Yeah.
I mean, we're already just spitting into the face of the entire system. I don't know. So, what is just a random question? What is the song or the band of choice for a young teenager in Washington today?
Well, I guess majority in Seattle is just like rap, you know. So I don't know about band.
So you guys don't have like you're not hardcore passionate into any one group or anything?
Not really. Okay, are you talking individually or like as?
No, as you guys, you personally.
Well,
I like the older bands.
I like I love like classic rock as well, but I like
older bands like Last Century.
Yeah.
Like the Beatles and whatnot. But I like '90s rock too, like Blink-182. I guess I'm not like really invested in any specific. I guess. What about you?
Are those guys still around?
Blink-182?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
They just took their millions and just dropped the mic.
Just left.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys heard of the band The Pretty Reckless?
No.
Like my favorite band by Taylor Momsen. I would check it out. She's like awesome.
Really?
Yeah. The Pretty Reckless by Taylor Momsen. She's the lead singer, Taylor Momsen.
Okay. Nice. I find new music on a website called Hype Machine. It's hypem.com. It's like an aggregate, and it finds like all the best remixes that are coming out, and like not just remixes, but it's amazing. I mean, it's a great discovery portal because you just get a lot of new stuff. I mean, you can't wait around for just whatever Vivo burps out. You know, it's like you got to have other ways, more indie. But I've been pumping. I put a lot of music into my videos. You know, I think music is festive. It's joyous. It's fun. You know, I'm actually pretty stoked about my new outro music. I found this remix for Enya, and I'm digging that. Every time I listen to that, I'm like, yeah, I love that. Speaking of Enya, my fighter, Conor McGregor, is fighting in 2 days, and I'm super excited about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Desperately want to fly out to Vegas and watch the whole thing.
Gotta get that Patreon up for.
I know, immediately. But I'm receiving hatred. In fact, the last video, Rowan, of the video we posted, I got tons of dislikes, and I'm like, oh, doesn't. I was like, ouchie, guys. That hurts my feelings. You know, devastating.
Yeah, and the first thing I thought when I saw that, I was like, I thought they were disliking it because of me. That's really what I thought.
I know. Don't take it personally. It's because I've been vilified as the pinata of their white guilt, and so they are just straw manning me and just coming after me with pitchforks, and I couldn't give a rat's rectum. So whatever. But as far as bands, yeah, I'm old school. Basically, bands will imprint upon you, and
Right. That's
especially like coming up in the next 5 years, you guys will probably find a band which you'll be talking about 20 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And people will be like, oh God, not again. In fact, I just showed my nephew Hugh Nirvana. Smells Like Teen
Oh
Spirit,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and I just was watching his face as he soaked it up for the first time. And now he's singing it. He's like, I feel stupid and contagious. And I'm like, yeah, it's fucking working. So, yeah, I need to get down with the latest stuff. So if you guys have any new tracks that you think I need to hear, please send it on over.
I'll send you a link of Taylor Momsen
Okay.
video.
So
What's-
Devin,
yeah?
Why do you travel the world? Like, what is there something that, is it just pure choice, or is something driving you to do that, or?
Yeah. Well, variety is the spice of life. It basically comes down to why don't you do that?
No, I think it'd be awesome, but like,
Yeah. Well, the reason why you don't is if you're in school, if you have a family. But then once you're out of school, you're out of college. The reason that you don't is because of money, and you have a job.
yeah,
You got to go to your job. Now that is old school. 'Cause in the age of the internet, if you're commuting to an office building, I mean, respect to you for doing it. It's a grind and it's work, but I could never do that again. I've done it.
right.
I hated it. Everybody that's done it know that it's soul crushing, and your life basically just goes by, and you're like, this is it. This is what it was about. Me just grinding out at some meaningless job just to get a paycheck to like stay afloat, and then sit in traffic and get home and have no energy and just like do one thing. If you could do one thing a day, like I washed my car today, I did the laundry. That was my thing. Yay!
Wow,
You know,
that sucks. Yeah.
right, it sucks. So basically, I just was working for an ad agency, and I said, guys, I'm just going to work from home now. From now on,
Yeah.
I'm just going to work from home. And I thought they were going to fire me, but they didn't. And so I was like, they didn't because they couldn't, because we had like a deadline coming up. And so I continued to perform, and that's the thing, you have to perform. You can't just dig around. And then once I was at home, I thought to myself, what? I could do this from a different country. And so I literally bought a ticket to Argentina and went down there and was just like, I just wrote him an email, my boss, and I was like, on Monday, I was just like, oh, by the way, I'm just in Argentina, so I'm a couple hours ahead now. He's like, what? What are you talking? He's like, and I thought he was going to fire me again. I honestly did. But he didn't. And so once I saw that it could work, then I just said, okay, that's just how it's going to be for me from now on. So right now, for example, I'm in London, and I'm working for an ad agency in San Francisco who is working for Warner Brothers, which is in LA. So right now I'm designing an ad campaign for a movie coming up starring Johnny Depp. It's called Black Mass, and we're also doing the ad campaign for Vacation, the remake of the classic film. Yeah, so I'm doing like design and some flash animations and all sorts of stuff for those movies right now. But from Germany and London. So.
Did you see that new animated movie Inside Out yet?
No, but I love it, and it got a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, and Pixar is amazing.
I saw it. I loved it. You're gonna
Really?
love it.
Is it?
It was so good. It was incredible. One of the best animated movies I've ever seen.
Does it make you want to live forever and watch it every day of your life?
Yes.
Yeah, I am an animation nerd. I will tell you that. My girlfriend dragged me to see The Little Mermaid back before you guys were born, and I went into it thinking this is going to be lame, and I loved it. And I watched every animated film since. I am a full-fledged dork of animation, and I love it.
Have you seen the new Tinkerbell animated series?
You went too far. That is too far. No, actually, you know it's funny. I did the ad campaign for Tinkerbell. There was a Tinkerbell like straight to DVD thing where she has a twin sister, and I had to like create pixie dust, and it was a whole mess. But yeah, I haven't seen that one. But I'm down with the cause.
Devin, what's your favorite Pixar movie?
Man, The Incredibles is pretty good.
That is good.
But give me a rundown of some of the other ones that I'm. I think the early ones were great, but they weren't there visually. The stories were amazing and the characters, but
Yeah.
the visual. Oh, Tangled. Is that Pixar? No, that's
That's
not.
Disney.
Yeah, it's Disney.
But
See, it's all. Yeah, see, Disney bought Pixar, so it's all sort of fucked now. But Pixar, God, give me some of the other films. Hold on, let me look it up. I am on the internet, guys. So within a few clicks, watch what I can do.
I love Tangled too. That's a great one.
Tangled is awesome. My little niece loves it. Okay, hold on. List of Pixar movies. I actually did the. I worked on Cars. Cars 2.
Cars was good.
Mm-hmm.
I did the ad campaign for Toy Story. I did the ad campaign for Brave. So I've worked on a lot of Pixar stuff. Ratatouille is a masterpiece.
I like that.
That's a great film. Cars 3. Didn't they do Cars 3? No.
Didn't they do Planes or something?
Planes. Yeah.
That wasn't Pixar though. That was Disney.
Oh, really?
That wasn't Pixar.
Okay. That wasn't pure Pixar. Cars 3. Yeah, that actually did not receive good ratings, which was shocking, because they had a run of like 90 or plus on Rotten Tomatoes, and that one slid down.
Yeah, Cars 2 was their only flop.
Actually, Monsters is a great film, but it's more sort of kid centric. But Monsters University is actually really entertaining, and I actually really enjoyed that. I can't believe I'm like publicly admitting this. It's gonna be some like smear campaigns, be like, this guy likes Monsters University. What the fuck?
Drunken peasants.
Yeah. Cartman. No, yeah, you're a disgrace to the atheist movement. Finding Dory. Yeah, that's a new one coming out, huh?
Oh, Finding Nemo was good.
Yeah,
I like that.
That is good. The thing is, these guys, they are amazing because what they do is they make the movie perfect before they animate it. I mean, they storyboard it. Every moment, every joke, every character arc is thought out, like, in depth. Because I once saw John Lasseter, the guy who founded the company. I went to a speech he gave because I studied animation at UCLA. Like
Oh, really?
I did a double major in animation and history, and I was like fully going to become like a Disney animator. I actually considered going to Cal Arts for school, and that's like the pipeline right into Disney. But I ended up deciding to go to UCLA because I wanted like the full college experience with the sports teams and the drunken parties and the meaningless sex and all that. So I went that route, but I realized soon after college that I wasn't good enough at drawing.
Really?
Yeah, these people are dedicated as all get out, and that is the sad truth. I mean, I was talented, don't get me wrong, and I made a good film in college, but these people, this is Disney, it's Pixar.
Yeah.
It's nothing personal, it's just business, and you suck, you're not good enough. So start making atheism videos or something else. So what do you guys want to be when you grow up?
I think I'm gonna be a lawyer.
Dolphin trainer? Lawyer?
Yeah, I think so.
What kind of law?
Defense attorney.
Really? Did you watch a TV show that has inspired this move?
Not really. I just I enjoy arguing, but also convincing people that I'm right. So I think it would be a profession that would interest me and keep me interested. And I don't want to have a job like you said that just sucks and that all I get to do is go home and do one thing. So if that ends up being my career path, then great. I don't want to be set anything in stone, but.
What about doing the Jacqueline Glenn route and just getting a fan base and then eventually doing Playgirl? Could you see that? Could you see that as possible?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of her at all, actually.
No, dude, you guys are like light years ahead of her in terms of how you present yourself and the things you say. Your content is better than Jacqueline Glenn's. I hate to tell you.
Thank you.
But I love to tell you. Nick, what about you?
I don't exactly know, but I know I don't want like what you guys.
Traditional job.
Yeah, the traditional job.
Yeah, work backwards, man. That's the way to go. Just figure out what you hate.
Yeah.
That's a really good
point. But I don't think I have found anything
like a niche.
that I would really want to pursue.
What if you could be like a professional YouTuber? Like, let's say there was more.
That would
That
be the best
that would be
career.
awesome.
You can't even say you wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Just put out one video a week and you make a couple million a year if you're big enough.
That would be amazing.
Beautiful.
How amazing would that be? I mean, you could do whatever you wanted, really. You could really just hire people to come up with the ideas to your videos, and they do everything, and you sit down in front of a camera for 3 minutes, and they just put it together.
Exactly.
I know. See, the only thing I worry about you guys is if you do go big, and like I could easily see it happen. If we can get like one of your videos to sort of take off, is how it will affect your heads, because it's very easy to get sort of caught up in yourself.
I know. Yeah, I've actually thought about that too. Like, what if we come to the point, which is obviously hypothetical, to the point where, I mean, an atheist channel isn't going to be huge, but I mean, maybe you speak at a few conferences or whatever. I mean, it might give you some confidence that may not really exist and may just be false confidence, I guess. But I don't know. I don't think it would affect me too incredibly.
I mean, I'm just thinking like if you guys get 10,000 subscribers all of a sudden, you're gonna march down to the Space Needle and like rip off your shirt and just be like, "I'm the king of the world. Fuck all you people."
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are probably gonna be like throwing a party at 2,000 subscribers.
Yeah. Well.
Take some shots.
We'll definitely be happy. Yeah. Maybe a few. I don't know. I think I don't get too invested in size of our channel. I guess it's more of like I want to keep myself interested by the content, and I think that's what really motivates me and keeps me.
You gotta keep it real, and you gotta keep it to your standard. So you gotta like, so long as you're proud of the work you're doing, then that's good because all the videos you post up, they're up there forever until YouTube, deletes your channel. But so it's for posterity. Because what you'll get is people will find you late, and then they'll be like, "Hey, I like these guys," and then they will just binge watch. Like the phenomenon of binge watching is like that's what people do. They'll do it for Game of Thrones. They'll do it for The Wire.
Right.
And they'll do it on YouTube channels. I get a lot of people who are like, "Dude, I've been watching every video from the first channel till here," and they'll be like, "Hey, remember that joke you made 10 months ago?" And I'm like, "No, I don't." I feel bad though, because like people will leave comments and it's just like. I can't read through these comments. Do you guys still read through your comments?
I do, yeah. When I'm bored, I look through mine.
People keep misdefining atheism, and it's getting
That
really frustrating.
drives him
Oh,
crazy.
God.
He'll come in
Really?
and this guy thinks atheism is the same as agnosticism.
But I felt it was my obligation to read every comment, like especially very early on. It was like some guy just wrote me a note. I must read this note. Like there's a definitive point where you'll just be like, screw it. I cannot deal with this.
I skim through all of them.
I think what I like to do, and I think Nick does as well, is I skim and I usually just like the positive comments and just ignore the ridiculous 44 lines.
But it's true though. It's so true. It turns into this binary thing. It's like you establish, is this a compliment or is this just some guy just dumping negativity on top of me? Because we're still human beings, and it still affects you, even though really you don't know the person. They could be total degenerate. But if negativity is negativity, even if it's in digital form, and so it still affects you. Like
those like to dislike ratios that you basically gave us.
It's kind of crazy.
Wow.
We had a video. It was like 500 views, like 250 likes,
one
dislike. It's
really? Yeah. I gave you that dislike just to keep it real. I didn't want you guys to blow up too much. But like, yeah, Rowan, like, did you read through the comments on our interview?
Yes, I did.
And like, so some of those were negative and some positive, right?
Yeah, and I was like commenting on them and like.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Like, but how does it affect you? Like, do you take it personally, or are you just like whatever?
I don't take it personally. I just take it as these people are either commenting logically or illogically. Like they're either making a bad argument or they're making a good argument. I don't take it personally.
I think the great shame of the internet is, look, if we post a video that we're expressing ideas, obviously people are going to disagree with them.
Right.
And that's half the reason we're posting. We're not just posting to say, this is my decree from on high, and everybody just admit that I'm right. In my case, I happen to be right every time, but I mean, like, so if people presented a disagreement and came with respect, and that is the major hurdle, because on the internet and with anonymity, there is no respect. It's people will instantly just start attacking you and just insulting you and all that stuff, and that turns us off. We'll just be like, okay, well, now it's just a flame war, so it just becomes combative, and nobody gets anywhere from it.
Right.
Do you guys argue with people?
Nick was going on earlier and arguing with people, and I just told him to stop because it makes you look like a bigger fool than no one's gonna read their comment, but if they see that you respond, they're probably gonna go into it. And I tend to just stay away. Some people will ask us our opinions on things, and I'll do that occasionally. Someone will say, "Great job, thanks." You know, I don't like to argue with people because everyone's got an opinion. You know, and you're not going to change their mind. They're not going to change your mind. So I just think it's a waste of time.
Has anybody told you to kill yourself? Die of cancer?
Not yet.
I don't think so.
I'm shocked.
Really? Yeah, I wanted to find out, and this is a teaching moment, if I could pass one piece of knowledge on to you guys, and that is the ban hammer. Have you flexed your muscle on the ban hammer?
Yes, I have. I thought it kind of made me look like a pussy at first, but then I was like, no, I don't want these people roaming around. They'll go, in a matter of 3 minutes, go through like 20 videos posting, this is stupid, how could you say that?
Yeah. I love the fact, I just got this comment today where people are like, oh, for somebody who's so into the freedom of speech and criticizing Islam for freedom of speech, you sure do ban a lot of people. Like, they literally don't understand that me banning them and like telling them to fuck off because they're annoying to me personally, that is not infringing on their freedom of speech. Like, they can start their own channel on YouTube and do whatever the hell they want. It's me kicking them out of my living room because they were a heinous dick to me. Or I just don't like their face. Like, if I just don't like them, why would I like just suffer through coexisting with them? Screw them. So YouTube has changed the ban hammer from ban to hide.
Yeah.
This is also a pussy move, by the way. This is the political correct pussification of the universe, okay? Because some of their eggheads were like, ban seems severe. We shouldn't say the word ban. That's like kind of it's not tracking well in our focus groups. Let's go with hide, which is just so bogus. But the hide hammer, fine.
Sounds horrible, but
use it. You must use it when you see fit. Do not be afraid of it.
Right.
Do not suffer through these people. These people are scum.
Have you ever been personally offended by a comment where you just really sat there and were like, he either he has a point or wow, that really hurt me? I haven't had it.
Let me think. Some guy said I look like Eminem today. That was a bit of a bummer. People get pretty like nasty, but you grow a thick skin to it, so it's just you don't let your blood rate go, your blood pressure move on that. Not too worried about it. You know what this reminds me of? When I used to play soccer in AYSO growing up, if the game ended in a tie, you had what they called sudden death. And sudden death was the next goal wins, basically.
Right.
And we loved it because it set the stage. It's like a sudden death. And then what they did is they changed it to the golden goal, which is so lame and weak. And so it's like, hey, everybody, it's the golden goal time. And it's like, what?
Just because they didn't want to say sudden death?
Yeah, exactly. They don't want to scare these like kids who play soccer and they're like, sudden death. I can understand why they did it, but I prefer the word ban and the phrase sudden death.
Yeah. Okay, tell me if you agree with this. The people who institute anything for kids, whether that's educationally or just things like that, don't remember being kids and how stupid things like that are and were.
Yeah, I think kids are very resistant to anything we do. Like, they land on their feet. They are like cats, And especially it's funny seeing people sort of try to put these protective measures in place when, like you guys said, you guys are going to see bestiality before the age of 10, no matter what. Like, it's just, we can do nothing to stop that from happening.
Yeah, I know.
So, I mean, I can only imagine what I would be searching. That is I should write a book about that. If I had 5 hours to kill after school and the internet, and I'm 13 years old, that's going to be a freak show. I mean, that is going to be absolutely crazy. No firewalls to be seen.
No.
You know, just tapped into every dark, sadistic corner of the internet. Damn. I wish I could do it again. Rowan, can one of your scientists hook me up and like reset my life so I can live during the internet?
Well, I'll work on it. We'll
Okay.
work on that.
I want to reboot my consciousness and just start again.
Now my mind's just flashing back through all the sick crap I've seen on the internet.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. So what gets to you guys? What like because you sound very amped up and like optimistic maybe about your channel, about the future. But is there anything that sort of bums you out and where you're like, oh God, this is kind of lame and annoying?
I think the one thing that has come as kind of a shocking realization to me is that most people don't agree with you on most things, and a lot of times people have good reasons for that, and it's hard to really see your points and your opinions as truth to yourself when there's so many other opinions that are good, and you can see how it would make sense. And I think solidifying my demeanor and how I look at things, I think it's very shakeable at this point, and I think I've learned that the most throughout the channel is just how many people disagree with you.
Yeah. Oh my God! Guess who just posted a new video?
Chank?
No, the guy who you what mate? It's this British guy with the really effed up teeth, young guy. He's got a new channel and he's pumping out nonsense. This guy will never live to see 30. Man,
Is it the guy who the ninja Muslim guy?
No, that guy's not making it out of 2015. But that guy's seriously a freak, and he lives in San Jose. You should go down and interview that guy. Challenge him to a martial arts contest. Damn, yeah, that guy is really a whack job. I wish I can get back to those people. I enjoy looking at the freakery of that is lurking on YouTube, because it's out there. I mean, how do you guys research topics? Do you guys search for stuff, or do you ever just on stream?
In regards to what, like information on anything, or
like you guys are basically theme based, so you'll take on an idea. You're not really responding to a person.
Right.
A lot of people do that.
Yeah. I guess the way we go about that, about theme based, is we'll do serious, extensive research on things that, like the What is Scientology video. I had to spend 10 hours researching, watch like 2 documentaries, because I wanted to make sure that my information was correct. And I guess it starts out with a question, obviously, and from there, you know, you look at the underlying features and then progress from there.
You guys do a lot of positive videos, like Sam Harris or Richard Dawkins. Would you consider doing like a Who is Anjem Chowdhury?
Yeah,
like,
Nick said to do Who is Ken Ham. It's not really on the same level, but like something like Who is Hitler, or Did Hitler believe in God? You know, something like that. Yeah, I definitely want to do that. I think one of the main reasons that we've chosen our topics now is simply for exposure. You know, people are gonna, especially, are gonna look up things like Richard Dawkins, Sam Harris, Scientology, these intriguing topics. So that's really my reasoning for choosing that. But eventually, when we get a bigger audience, I want to definitely move into more critical videos.
So you guys are looking for some clickbait titles, huh?
Definitely. That's really what we started out doing, because that's really what you have to do to. If you hadn't really given us that shout out, I mean, we'd seriously maybe be at 100 subscribers right now, if that, and we wouldn't have probably taken it as seriously.
So your next video is gonna be called "Kim Kardashian's Ass is Atheistic."
That's pretty clickbait, I gotta say.
Yeah, I would watch that. I mean, look, I clicked on a video that said Muhammad equals pedophile.
Yeah.
You know, but that's just because I searched for a lot of pedophile stuff. But that's a different topic.
Yeah, might not want to.
Holy my Christ.
Yeah, I can't wait till you guys get more like judgmental with your videos, you know, like Devin, like that's when you guys are gonna like super blossom, I think. Into like
And
so you're gonna
now,
explode in popularity is when you start judging people. Because people love judgment, right?
Mm-hmm.
and now let's listen to Nick drop 15 consecutive F-bombs. That'll be awesome. How many viewers would it take before you guys were like, okay, wait a minute, this is pretty legit?
I think, like, in my opinion, I think 50,000 subscribers would be like, wow, we are something. We have a true voice, you know.
50,000, and then I'd start begging you guys to give me a shout out. I'm like, guys, you're like, dude, you were nice on the way up, but
Yeah, I'd be like,
you're
we
over,
don't
you're
need
done.
you. We go stick with your kangaroo.
They're like, you have 8,000 subscribers. We have 50,000. Why are we talking to you? Stop emailing me. Yeah, well, it might happen. I mean, seriously, here's the problem, you guys. Here's a problem with me. You ready for some self-reflection?
Yeah.
I make people mad. I make people mad.
Right. Yeah.
I say things people don't want to hear. And because I enjoy it. There's a part of me that, like, I enjoy it. It's also true, in a way that tends to be a bit inflammatory. And I revel in that. But you guys have a positive, like, brand. You know, you're not coming off with hatred.
People do hate us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's more in person, though.
No.
In person, they hate you.
For me, though.
Who hates you in person?
Well, there has been multiple kids at school who I will get into. It starts as like a little debate, and then it sort of gets into like a verbal attack between the two of us, and that's usually how it always is. I'll usually say something that they can't answer, and then they get defensive. They get defensive, and then hostile, and then eventually they hate me.
Right.
That happens to so many people,
I think,
especially in person.
I think what you said about our positivity and the message that we send, I think you're right, but I think eventually when we transition into more opinionated videos, like things that coexist like with white guilt or I saw a ad from like CatholicSomething.com. I don't know if you guys saw it, where it was like these people at first acted like they were coming out as gays, and they were coming out as, yeah, we think marriage should be between a man and a woman. I was like, this is ridiculous. If I had a channel like yours, I would just totally rip this and attack it. And I think eventually we will transition into there, and that's really where I want to go, because I think I'd be better at that than just reading the script.
You got to tap into your inner chimpanzee. It's like a face ripping chimp. Like, they really go after it. Like, when they want to rip off a face, they go for it. And there's probably a video of that on LiveLeak, actually, but I don't suggest you search for that. There is something very cathartic and fun about attacking somebody who's presenting a bad idea, because it makes it more real. When we're talking about the real world, you know, there's no use going after the concept of
like communism or something, you know.
or just theoretical notions. It's like, it only matters is because these schmucks believe the shit.
Right.
So let's take on one of those schmucks, hold them up in the light, and be like, why are you believing this? And not only that, the fact that you do believe it is shameful. And now here comes some rightful insults. And that's what I love, is when people cannot seem to understand that you can debunk somebody's argument and then insult them. Or insult them throughout. Just insult them throughout. They deserve to be insulted. People don't understand that. They're so weak. They want to avoid confrontation. I don't know.
Yeah. Definitely.
So yeah, why are you guys racist? You're in a Google Hangout with 4 white guys.
You know, it's just how I was raised. This book said
you got a white T-shirt. There's a white wall behind you. You got a white wire. It's unbelievable, man.
Yeah, man. When I saw that Drunken Peasants thing, I mean, I watched your Jacqueline Glenn video before they did that, and I was like, he is so right about every single thing here. The statistics prove it, and it's a shame. It really is. It's a shame.
I know. People get so crazy. I'm going to do a video responding to a bunch of YouTube comments I got strawmanning me, but it's really miraculous what they do. I'll say something like, black people in America commit more crimes than any other racial group, which is the most irrefutable stat possible. Like, they cannot challenge me on that.
Oh, no.
So that's the end of my statement. What they will then say is, correlation does not mean causation.
Right. Or I've heard this. Yeah.
No. So
I've heard the one where they say, like, yeah, well, cops hone in on black people, so obviously they're gonna get caught for it, you know.
Right. Cops hone in on the most criminally active segment of the society. I wonder why. They're even engaging these people. There's a reason, because they're committing crimes.
Yeah.
It's like so. What they hear, what the progressive hears when I say that, is they hear all black people commit crimes. And that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that, and they're hearing that I'm saying they commit crimes because they are black.
Yeah.
Like, it's the most insane leap of, like, it's a non sequitur. I'm not saying anything remotely like that. And quite frankly, I don't care why they commit crimes. I don't care why anybody commits a crime.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if some guy comes onto my airplane and yells out Allahu Akbar and blows himself up and kills me. Do I care why he did that or that he did that? You know, I don't give a fuck that he was indoctrinated as a child or he came from a bad geopolitical, socioeconomic. Who cares? Who cares?
Right.
Talk about that in some other conversation.
Going to Costco to turn in bottles and cans and.
Sorry about that.
No problem. So that's sort of a amazing thing, and you know, this stat that I've been throwing out there, which is 13% of the country commit 53% of murders, which is true. It's not actually true. It's worse than that, because 13% is 13.2 is that's the black people in America.
Yeah.
It's not black women that are killing people. Okay? There's 1 out of every 100 black women are in prison. 1 out of every 6 black men are either in prison or were in prison or part of that system. So it is, and it's not old black men and it's not young black men. It's not 10-year-old black men. It's not 70-year-old black men. It's young black men. So we're talking about like 2-3% of the population that is doing this. It's somewhere more in that range, which makes it even more crazy.
Yeah.
And the fact that I said that, the fact that I know that,
you're gonna get backlash.
That's right. And guess what that reminds me of? What else? What other stats have I mentioned and then taken a backlash for?
Islam.
Exactly. I state the stats about terrorism. I'm a bigot. I am an Islamophobe. Ridiculous. So,
I think I've had this conversation with one of my friends, and I know that people may get mad at this. It's not that we like hate black people or anything, not even close, but the culture I hate. I mean, the hood mentality, you know, that's a real thing. And I think someone you mentioned in your question and answer video, Tommy Sotomayor, he calls it out, but he's fine, you know.
But here's the thing. So when you have somebody from the outside, what they see here is 4 white people saying, we don't like this part of the black culture. And so now is when you have to placate these people, you have to be like, now, let's also mention that there's some fucked up, demented white people in this world, a ton of them, who are doing reprehensible, idiotic shit. And I could do video after video showing you those people. You know, we all know where they are. They're at Walmart. They are in the South. They are out there.
Yeah.
There's Asian gangs. But the problem is these things are not equivalent. That's the problem. That's the uncomfortable problem. So yes, there are problems in Hawaii. You want to talk about crime in Hawaii? Drug use in Hawaii? There's a massive problem out there. These people are not white. They're not black. They are criminal. There's a lot of criminal element in Hawaii. Now, we can talk about that and probably won't be labeled. Well, no, we're going to be labeled a racist no matter what.
Definitely.
But, the problem is that when you actually look at the graphs, and they're readily available for anybody who wants to see them, the FBI, the government, they put out the stats, it's not even close. So this is a problem.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think the progressive mentality of white guilt is so real,
Mhm.
and they won't even address it either,
They're-
and I think that's the biggest problem, really.
They're too dumb to even realize that it's happening to them. They're so deeply in it that it's just like they can't see. They can't get out of this. They're in the matrix. They're riddled with it. It's just they don't possess the ability to understand why they are the way they are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so it's very sad.
I think
don't
that video you made, Devin, where you gave a speech of Chris Rock's speech, and then you showed Chris
Oh,
Rock saying things.
yeah,
I love that, and that made such a good point. It was beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. People that watch that, some of my fans told me like, "Oh man, I thought you were going off the rails there for a little bit." I was like, where are you going with this, man? But then, if that video affected somebody, they're never going to tell me about it. That will maybe plant a seed that they might start thinking about stuff a little bit different.
Yeah.
But they're never going to write me an email and be like, "Dude, I was a scumbag. I was labeling everybody a racist, and I don't quite understand what I'm thinking. I'm kind of an idiot." You're never going to get that email. So, but yeah, you guys don't talk race. Don't talk race.
Yeah, I want to stay away from that for sure.
Put it this way: you're already pissing off 98% of the world with what you're saying. So, start there. So more questions. Hit me up. Otherwise, probably have to.
Okay, I'll hit you up with a question. I'll hit you all up with a question. So, what's more? I want to hear your thoughts on this. So, did you know that there's actually a president right now that's running for? He's an atheist and he's running for president.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the leader of the Transhumanist Party.
Sultan Islam.
Yeah, Zoltan Isfan, and he's actually gonna go around the United States in a bus that is shaped like a coffin. It's designed to look like a coffin. It's a whole activism thing to show people he's going to be protesting aging and death, and his whole spiel is that we can live forever, with life extension. You think that'll be like a good thing? Bring some attention to the cause?
That would be the upset of all time.
Oh yeah.
I wonder what the Vegas odds are on this guy winning. But
Oh no, he doesn't even think he's going to win this time. I guess it's just it's to build for maybe the next election or the next election after that, or.
Well, the problem is, Ron. The problem is we're talking to a couple teenagers here who already think they're immortal. I mean, that's the beauty of being young. You think you're going to live forever, basically. Like.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Well, no, young people. There's no reason for them to think about mortality.
Yeah.
That's like grim and depressing. It's like, what are you talking about? I'm just getting started here.
But they've thought about it a lot.
I know. These guys are different. That's why they're receiving hatred.
Let's talk about the big elephant in the room. Death. How are we going to solve death so that we don't have to die, so that we can live forever?
Well, I mean, I don't know the science behind it, but I think eventually science will get there. That's pretty much indisputable. The human civilization, as long as we stay around, are going to be able to do whatever we want. I don't concern myself with hope necessarily. So I know you hope that it'll be in your lifetime.
As do I.
I hope too, but I don't let things like that captivate my entire existence, because I think it's like I'd rather not be on my deathbed knowing I lived a reserved life and realize, well, I didn't get there, in my time. So I live life to the fullest, and I hope eventually, and maybe in my lifetime, that it will be solved, but I don't let it captivate my existence. As I said, I think it will happen though,
I think so too. I mean, it's just a matter of time, right? The technologies.
Yeah.
We all agree that it's going to happen eventually, right?
Yeah.
The question is, it's just, will it happen in time for us?
Yeah.
We have to push it so that it does.
I wonder though if it's the same kind of mentality as, I can't remember the stat, but it's a high majority of Christians believe that that the rapture will, or Jesus will, Jesus will come back in their lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the same thing. It's something, I guess, to hope for, but yeah.
But that doesn't mean we shouldn't like work on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but where's the money going to come from? Who's going to?
Well, yeah, because 98% of the world believes that we're already going to live forever.
Mm-hmm.
You know who would front the money? Like a guy like Bill Gates.
Or like Mark Zuckerberg, you know. I know.
Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg, man. Maybe, because he wants to live forever.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine what the penalty for murder would be if we had like
just I don't even know what torture, then execution.
I was thinking we can create once we colonize the United outer space, we can create entire planets just devoted to housing more prisoners.
You know what they could do is
that's called Australia.
It'd be prison planet, you know, for real.
They could chain people, put them in like a suit, chain them to like the moon just for eternity, and maybe some asteroid comes and obliterates them. But other than that, they're just gonna be there.
Man, that is twisted. Just let them hover on a leash from the moon and just like feed them and like give them a little, I don't know, diaper of some kind that like flushes out into the vacuum of space. Yeah. Wow.
Horrible, but
that sounds like some sort of like sick Japanese horror movie. You guys should do a video on that. Just like totally screw with your subscribers and just be like, here's a totally non sequitur video about moon punishment systems. Oh man.
I love the video you guys did where it was like a skit. That was a good idea. I would do more of those.
Yeah.
We one of us had the idea, and then it took a while though.
9 hours.
That took 9 hours.
9 hours.
It's very creative. I like that.
Definitely our most viewed video. We got 4,000. So.
Oh fuck, guys! I just got a message from my boss who wants me to get these designs over to her. So
one more question for all of you guys. This is like a good final question, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, if you die, do you have a preference of what would go on your tombstone? Like like a quote, or what would you? I'm just curious. Do you care at all?
Oh.
I would actually rather, instead of being cremated or buried, actually rather donate to science.
That's not.
I know. I'm just.
Devin, do you have anything?
Donate to science. I like that.
Let me think on that. On my tombstone, just a message to everybody who came to pay their respects. How about these 72 virgins are bullshit? The 72 virgins are no longer virgins. I'm here to report. No, I'm thinking actually they would have interactive tombstones where it's not going to be just something carved into the cement.
It'll be like a video, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's your Facebook timeline. It's your Google search history. That would be awesome. Yeah, I mean, but you could have a much more multimedia presentation, and your own voice, perhaps your own. That'd be kind of creepy, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I really couldn't tell you.
But I do know a lot of people.
I don't think I'd care about mine. I mean, there's no point. There's no reason to care if you're not even going to be there, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of a nihilistic view, but I mean.
Yeah. That's
I don't
true.
know. I'd have to think on that. I'd probably come up with a few different options, but I don't know.
You gotta love Rowan, though, man. He is passionate about this topic. He's into it. He's.
I'm glad there are people that are.
Yeah, definitely.
He's concerned. He's concerned.
I can't wait to hear your series on death. The one.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
All men must die. I want to hear what you have to say over there.
Oh yeah, that's not the most fun topic, but it is the most important one. So should. But I'll make it fun. Fuck it.
Because even the title. The title is a problem because it's not actually true, but necessarily, right? Because we might cure aging. There's a chance that we can cure aging and live forever.
Or just prolong it.
Yeah.
Life.
Yeah, and ironically, most people think that there is no such thing as death. I mean, that's that's the standard view of most humans. Is that it's an illusion. It's not actually what we think it is.
Basically all, really.
Mm-hmm.
It's so amazing. I love the language games. I love when people get into the God is energy, God is love, and it's like death is just an illusion. Death is a transition. Energy doesn't die. We're all just molecules of stardust, like all that crap. It's like no, death is death. I'm sorry, but. All right, guys. Well, these people are cracking the whip on me, so I better get back to this. But thanks for hanging out.
Oh yeah.
No problem.
Thank you.
We'll do something
Awesome.
soon too.
Yeah, let's get into our brainstorming mode and let's get you guys viral, and so you can start increasing my subscriber base with your shout-outs.
Definitely.
We're looking at the future here.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
You could be the future. You could be the first atheist president.
Yeah. Co-president.
Co-presidents.
You could save us from death
Yeah. Yeah. Possibly. We'll see.
by funding, putting all the government money into Sen's Foundation or something.
And then get instantly impeached.
What is this guy doing?
just cut everything. Cut all healthcare, all military expenditures. Just you guys. We got one issue. We're going full blast.
Anarchy, and then a few scientists figure it out.
And you guys just like control all operations from some underground layer. That'd be awesome. All right, guys. Talk to you guys later. And
All right.
let's let the dislikes begin.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Later.